Hello, everybody, and welcome to Keever's Place, the KeeverMurdaugh Show and podcast. Yes, so you already know what time it is. It's time for another great show tonight. We are super excited for our show. We have a wonderful guest tonight, so I'm so excited to be able to introduce her in just a little bit. So, welcome. We hope you had a great week thus far. And I'm glad that you're able to hop on and join us for just a little bit of your time tonight, right? We don't like to take up a lot of your time, but we do enjoy the fact that we are here to be able to be a resource to our community, to be able to bring relevant topics and be able to converse and just have a good time. So that's what we are here for. We are here to educate you, drop some knowledge, but also to have a great time. So I'm glad that you are here to enjoy us tonight. So for those of you who do not know me, my name is Coach KeeverMurdaugh, and I am the owner and CEO of KeeverMurdaugh Enterprises, which is comprised of 4 different companies that focus on self-awareness and self-improvement. And one of those businesses, of course, is our show, Keever's Place, the KeeverMurdaugh Show and podcast. So I'm happy that you are here. So we're going to do things a little bit different tonight. So the first thing I want you to do is tag some people, introduce them, and bring them on in the room. Then I want you to get yourself comfortable, of course, grab your favorite drink, and just enjoy the rest of the show. But I want you to also engage with us tonight. Definitely let us know where you are watching us from, whether you're watching us live, or if you're watching the replay. I want you to hashtag live, hashtag replay. Let us know how you are joining us tonight. And share. Sharing is caring, right? So we want you to share our broadcast so that we can get this important message out. Because tonight is going to be a deep show, and we're going to be talking about some heavy topics tonight. But it's something that we need to discuss as a community. It's a must. So we need to discuss it. So go ahead and get yourself comfortable. We're going to play our introduction, and then we're going to come back and kick off our show. So this is your opportunity right now to get yourself ready, get yourself comfortable, because you're aware at Keever's Place, the KeeverMurdaugh Show and podcast. So don't go anywhere. Stay tuned.
Welcome to Keever's Place, the KeeverMurdaugh Show and podcast. We hope that by the end of our show, you're left feeling empowered, motivated, and connected. So come on in the room, grab your favorite drink, sit back, and enjoy the ride, because you're finally at home at Keever's Place. Now give it up for our host and producer, Coach KeeverMurdaugh.
And we are back. Thank you so much for joining us again. So before I introduce my guest, I want to mention a few housekeeping items and let you know what we have going on. So Keever's Place, the KeeverMurdaugh Show and podcast, along with one of our other companies, Keever's The Natural Choice Boutique and Gift Shop. We are hosting a spring festival coming up in just a couple of weeks. So our festival is our spring festival. We do festivals 3 times out of the year. So this is our first festival for this quarter. Again, it's our spring festival. It's going to be held in Camden, South Carolina at the Kershaw County Recreational Department. And I wanted to take this opportunity to introduce you to this festival because we know in the midst of COVID-19, there are so many things that's been shut down, so many people that are dealing with cabin fever. They're tired of being cooped up in the house. So this is a great opportunity for us to be able to come together as a community. Right? So we're going to have so many different things, so many different ventures, and a lot of different vendors at this event. So this is a great opportunity for you to bring the babies. We're going to have our mask on. We will be social distancing, but come on out and interact with us. Let us get to know you and get to love on you, and you get to just engage with us in the community. So again, our spring festival is going to be held April the 24th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The venue is going to be the Kershaw County Recreational Department. That address is 1042 West DeKalb Street in Camden, South Carolina. We are hosting it. We still have a few open positions for vendors. So if you are a vendor, and if you're definitely looking for an event to be able to sell your products and introduce yourself to the community, increase exposure, get that visibility, then we invite you to definitely join us at this event. We, like I said, we have a few more spots available. We're looking for boutiques, food vendors, crafts, ceramics. If you have a service-based business and you are a realtor, we're still looking for realtors, Pampered Chef, Avon. So we still have a various array of spots still available. So definitely take advantage. If you would like to register, go to our website at KeeversBoutique.com. Again, that's KeeversBoutique.com, KeeVers Boutique.com, and go ahead and register if you would like to be a vendor. We would love to have you, so definitely check us out. Okay, so I wanted to get that out of the way, a few housekeeping things. So let me introduce you to our guest for today, and we're going to bring her on stage. So our guest today is the founder and executive director of Hush No More organization. It's a nonprofit organization, and they focus on the hush topics, and we are going to talk about what those hush topics are. She created the No More Champions as a platform to allow survivors, advocates, and nonprofit organizations to have a platform to discuss their experiences with these such hush topics and how they can recover from such trauma. She also created another platform where she has tied in this venue with also her podcasting and TV show. And the mission is to create a safe space for individuals to learn from others and how to turn weeds developed from trauma into flowers. So without further ado, I want to introduce you to our show tonight, the one, the only, Dr. Vanessa Dunn Guyton. How are you?
I am amazing. Thank you so very much for having me. I am excited and honored to be here.
Well, it is my pleasure. I just adore you. We have so much in common we didn't even know about until just recently. And what they don't know is I was just on your recent platform, 2-3 weeks ago?
Right.
And discovered a lot more about you. So I'm going to stop talking. I want you to introduce yourself to our audience, and we're going to dive right into exactly what it is that you specialize in.
All right. So my name is Dr. Vanessa Dunn Guyton, and I am the executive director and founder of Hush No More, where I support survivors when they're ready to come forward and use their voice because they have a choice. Whenever they're looking for resources or just need somebody to listen to, that is what we do. We provide free training in our communities to churches, youth groups, any organization that wants to know more about what we call the hush topics. And I'm going to let Keever talk about the hush topics so she could just say, what are the hush topics?
What are the hush topics, right? But let me just back up a little bit because we know that April is Sexual Assault Awareness Month. So I'm super excited to have you on as our first guest in April, right? Because the hush topics is something that we don't like to talk about. And we know that there's more than one of those hush topics. So I want you to dive into a little bit in more detail what those hush topics are.
So we realized early on that a lot of times people experience more than one hush topic. So they're sexual assault, domestic violence, sex trafficking, child sexual abuse, sexual harassment, child incest, molestation. We don't talk about those things in our communities and in our families, but they're happening. And so we focus on them. And then during the month of April is Sexual Assault Awareness Month and Child Sexual Abuse Awareness Month. So we focus on things that affect our community and just anybody that's close to us. It's happening. And we look at stats and it's 1 in 6 homes. So it is happening in a lot of homes. And I think it's more than that because we don't come forward and talk about it. So
you're exactly right. And I was so floored about the stats. 1 in 6 homes. Think about that. You could be in a grocery store line, and based on those statistics, the 6th person in line could be dealing with some of these hush topics. Amazing. Amazing. Why is it, Vanessa, that you think that we don't talk about it? Why do you think that is such a taboo, and why families just do not want to bring that out in the forefront? What have you been hearing when you do converse and coach and mentor some of these people?
One, it's embarrassing and it's shameful. People take on the shame of the behaviors and acts of others. And so they don't want to talk about it. You want to come across and wear this mask in the community saying that your family is perfect. You got this perfect marriage, the perfect relationship. Your children are perfect. When we all know that's not the case, right?
Okay.
Nobody has a perfect family, but we want to display that. We want that image. And also, people want to hide what is happening because when they admit that it's real, then it hurts. So they rather just go around acting like it's not happening, that everything is okay, because they don't want to address the hurt that is caused by all of that. We've also been taught not to talk about it. Our families have passed that down. And I will tell you, it is not just in the African-American families. It is in all families. You could be Asian, Hispanic, Caucasian. All of the families talk about, we were told not to tell. What goes on our house stays in our house. It goes across the board. You know, African-Americans are rhyme with it. You know, we talk about it from that perspective, but it's happening everywhere. And so I want people to understand that they're not alone, and you have to be transparent and show up in order to get help, in order for you to heal.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. And if we're being honest and transparent, we all have heard that, whatever happens here stays here, right?
Yep.
Some of us have even gotten punished for it, but we have to start figuring out a way to break these generational cycles and these generational curses. So it's really important for us to just deal with the trauma. So I want to ask you, because I believe that everybody has a backstory. So what's your backstory in getting started with this particular organization? What encouraged you to launch this?
So for me, it was my own personal trauma. I was already working in the field, not realizing it. I started a company called Consulting Experts and Associates in 2010, providing training on the hush topics already, but I didn't see myself as a victim. I had suppressed everything that had happened to me. I just felt like I am a good trainer, and I wanted to talk about this to prevent it from happening, not remembering my own trauma. In 2017, I was in the Columbia, South Carolina mall, y'all, and I saw a guy that looked like the person that assaulted me when I was in the Army. So I am a survivor of military sexual trauma. I saw a man came out of the store and I thought it was him, and all the memories came flowing back and I freaked out. I mean, I am crying, screaming, and hollering in the middle of the mall, not even realizing that everybody's looking. It was that bad. So when you show out like that, you got some really bad trauma. And so it just started coming back, and I had to get counseling. I had to be admitted into the hospital. I was in the VA getting intensive counseling, trying to get my life together. And when I got it together, which I don't think we ever really get life together, as I got better in a good healed place, I decided that I didn't want it to happen to anybody else. And I had been meeting people already that have been coming to me about, can I come to their organization, telling me their stories. So I said, no, I got to do something about it. So I created Hush No More. And that way, people don't have to pay me to be able to come to their organization. The organization, Hush No More, can, we raise money to be able to afford us to go to different locations and train. And I just want to be able to raise awareness and protect God's people. So God have me here. I didn't set out and plan for this. Our journey takes us to different destinations that we don't even realize. And so being a survivor of military sexual trauma is really what sparked it for me.
I love that. I love that. But I'm curious to know, Vanessa, during that time, how were you able to progress and finish your military career? Well, let me back up. When that happened, did you feel as if you were safe enough to tell at that moment, or did you just keep that within yourself and just finish your military career knowing that you were traumatized or victimized in such a way?
So I never really said I was a victim. I said it didn't happen. after he finished his due, he said, soldier, anybody gonna believe you? Because he was like the poster child for the United States Army. Like, if you saw a poster, his picture was on there. He was very charismatic, very fast, high speed. So I didn't think nobody would believe me. So I told myself I wasn't telling. I went home. I cried that night in my room. I was very fearful, wondering, was he going to come back? Thankfully, he didn't. And I got up the next morning, went to PT, and I didn't tell anybody. And that was it. I act like it never happened again. And it affected me unknowingly. So, like, I have been sober for 2 years. I was a really bad alcoholic. I drank every day. People didn't even realize it. I thought people didn't realize that I had a problem. But of course, people do start seeing signs. I was very depressed. I finished school. People say, how did you finish school? One, because I was not going to be successful. I wanted to have a better life. I didn't want to continue growing up poor. I didn't want my children to grow up poor. So I was very set on achieving my goals, regardless of what happened to me. And I just suppressed it and kept going. And when I needed a break, I took a break from school. I took a break from life and just pushed myself until I couldn't push myself anymore. And I couldn't hide what was actually happening to me.
Mm-hmm. And that's just amazing how we tend to develop these coping mechanisms, right? Trying to suppress or trying to forget the traumatic experiences. And it leads into sometimes, most of the time, unhealthy coping mechanism, like overworking yourself, right? Like drinking, like for some people that is drugs. For some people, it's a deep depression. So if you had to encourage anybody that's going through that situation right now, what's one word of advice that you would give to them that are dealing with that particular circumstance? Because let's be honest, there's some that are dealing with that right now, watching our show and sitting in that place of shame and not wanting to tell. So what's one advice that you would leave with them or give them in this moment?
That you don't have to live like that. It's almost like a self-punishment, how we punish ourselves, as we don't forgive ourselves, we blame ourselves. So we sit in it and we allow us to just be unhappy. But you don't have to. It's a choice. And we have to use our voice and our choices to take our power back. So you don't have to be there. You're not alone. And there's a lot of help out here if you just take the step and willing to do the work.
That's right. That's exactly right. Which is why I love your mission. And I use that question to dive right into your mission. So you said the Hush No More's primary mission is to provide a platform for survivors to share their experience with the hush topics and to receive support from other survivors and victim advocates, as well as provide training that will lead to awareness and prevention of the hush topics. So when you, and then your vision, is to create a world where survivors feel empowered to hush no more. And that's what I love about your platform, is that you make it okay for you to be able to stand and speak in your truth and to be able to tell your story, because nobody can really tell your story better than you. But to just have that courage to be able to tell your story. And I feel as if it's so important for us to be able to tell our stories so that it will, number one, put a face with the story, so other people that are going through that exact situation or something very similar can know that, you know what, you are not alone. And if I can go through that and have been able to overcome it and got to a place of peace, because I believe that some people just don't believe that they can get to that place of peace in the midst of their pain. But we are evidence, because I was assaulted and I've gone through domestic violence, not me personally, but I grew up in a very hostile home and have seen a lot and have heard a lot. But you can get to that place of peace.
Well, I want to thank you for sharing. I think it's important as women and men that we share our journey. So you decided to hush no more. Love it. I honor you for that. And it also brings people closer together when we share our trauma. For some reason, when you share, like when you come across as being all on the same level, it's so much easier to survive instead of you acting like you're up here, and got the mask on. It's so much easier to just say we all are going through and trying to get to the next level.
That's it.
So
That's
thank
it.
you.
That's it. Yep. You are so right about that. So we're going to take a quick commercial break. And when we get back, you have a couple of things that I definitely want to talk about. We're going to dive a little bit more into that. So we're going to take a quick break, but don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with Dr. Vanessa Dunn Guyton. So stay tuned.
Are you looking for a natural boutique? Then look no more. Keever's the Natural Choice Boutique and Gift Shop, located in Camden, South Carolina. We have all natural products, ranging from deodorants, natural soaps, natural hair and skincare products, and everything that you need. But wait, there's more. At Keever's, you can also get women apparel, handbags, women's shoes, and jewelry. Visit us today at Keever's, the Natural Choice Boutique and Gift Shop. And be sure to follow us at Keever's Boutique and visit us in person at 2639 Suite D, Broad Street, Camden, South Carolina. Or visit our website at www.keeversboutique.com.
We are living in a digital age, and we think it's safe to say that all businesses are needing to transition from traditional brick and mortar to broadcast. Everything is really about data collection and building a community. EasyWay Broadcasting has created a social network/solution provider within the EasyWay network to help its members with this transition. Introducing the EasyWay Wall of Fame, a one-stop shop for business owners and influencers that help them to connect, grow, learn, and scale the easy way. Over the years, we have been building affiliates and partnerships in all genres. That means our platform utilizes all our members' businesses to provide services at a much lower cost, help sell their service, and promote their awareness to more potential customers. Through our new media empire, we have a reach to millions. Become an affiliate. Make money doing it the easy way. Create your free account today by visiting easywaywalloffame.com. Accelerate your influence through direct access to the right influencers. We have many TV shows that our members can be interviewed by. We have our own magazine and radio station to promote our EasyWay Wall of Fame members' profiles, which they control. The more friends you get, the bigger your business will grow. Join the EasyWay Wall of Fame community for free today.
Hey everyone, this is Kiasha Hill, transformational life coach and author of 30 Days of Different Ways to Love Me. You're currently watching Keever's Place, the KeeverMurdaugh show and podcast. Please stay tuned, so much more to come.
And we are back. So I'm going to bring Dr. Vanessa Dunn Guyton. Girl, I just mixed your name all up. Vanessa Dunn Guyton.
Okay.
I had your middle name for your last name and vice versa. Okay. This is live TV, y'all. We can't make this stuff up. Live TV. All right. So you have a book. I want to talk a little bit about your book, but then I also want to dive a little bit into your documentary. So tell us a little bit about those.
Okay, so the Hush No book was created to allow survivors a safe space to share their story. So I have stories about all the hush topics from individuals, men and women around the world, telling us about what happened to them. And it also was an opportunity for me to share my own story, because I believe that when we write, when we journal, when we do poetry, that is a way of healing. It's like getting it out of your body, getting it out of your system. And so the Hush No More book is available on Amazon. And it's also about what can you do as a community to help survivors. what is incest? I've had people tell me they didn't even realize that they were in a relationship with their parents that was wrong, because essentially that's what incest is. What is child sexual abuse? What happens when the neighbor next door buys you candy and the next thing that they want to touch you? And so it addresses all of that, and also my own story, and just talks about what it is and how can you help somebody and prevent it from happening to others and to yourself.
I love that. I love that. So I haven't had the opportunity to watch your documentary yet, but is that along the lines of your book? Like, how does that correlate with what you have going on?
So the documentary was actually done first. I
Okay.
wanted everybody to be able to share their story. I wanted to be able to stream something all over the world. I wanted to be able to have good dialogue within communities and to share from a healing place, because I don't like when people share their stories and it's sad and you got everybody crying. So how can you share healthy stories from people who are really game changers in their own world, in their own fields? And so that's what I did. And unfortunately, I wasn't ready during the documentary to share my own story. I still wasn't ready to come forward, and especially on camera, to say, hey, this happened to me. I didn't do that. I interviewed others. I shared information, encouraged everybody else, but it's easier to encourage others and not yourself. So I am on the documentary as a subject matter expert, but not as a survivor. I didn't tell when I did the documentary. And so it's part of my healing journey. So if you watch the documentary, you're going to be like, oh, she got it together. Then you read the book and you're like, maybe she don't. She had some stuff going on and she didn't tell in that documentary. I should have been on the documentary telling my story, but I didn't. And I wasn't ready. And so it's part of growth. When are you ready to share? And it's your choice when you're ready to come forward. And so those are just 2 platforms that I did to allow survivors to heal and to be able to stand up in their truth. And I was so honored that all of them allowed me to share their story, that they trusted me with their stories. And I am still honored. I made a commitment to them that if they ever need me, I am there. And it's also been a way for us to raise money. So when somebody buys the Hush No More book, the money is donated back to the organization. So it's a fundraiser for us. And then as far as the documentary, when I screen it in organizations, they pay for the screening and we put that money back into the organization so we can also help survivors. And we screen it though into like communities for free. So it's a good way to start a conversation and to have dialogues within your family and within the community. So that's the Hush No More.
Love that. I love that. And you just said a key word. You were able to tell your story when you finally got ready. And that's so important. A lot of people, what I will say is that a lot feel guilty in a sense. And there is that place of shame, and they're just not encouraged to be in that space at that moment to be able to tell what they are going through, men and women, because we cannot forget the men too. Men suffer from abuse in one shape, way, or form, but you have to allow yourself to begin your healing process. And for me, talking about what I went through is a way of healing. Just being able to tell what happened and how it made me feel, how it affected my life, but also how I was able to overcome it and stand where I am today. So it's really important that, like you said, I must agree with that 100%. It's not all about just living all in the past and dealing and dwelling on what transpired back then. The key is, okay, now how can I move forward? How can I grow? And how can I reach back and encourage other people to do the same? So I just want to be able to thank you, first of all, for speaking that, acknowledging that, and standing in your truth, but also creating such a platform that allows others to be able to do the same.
Thank you. It makes me feel good. It makes me feel good that somebody has an opportunity to finally get it out, to finally say this happened and I am overcoming this. I'm working on this. So I love it. I'm truly honored to be able to do it.
So you have just recently started a podcast as well with this same mindset and objective is to be able to provide a platform for people to come on, survivors, advocates, to be able to come on and tell their story and also introduce resources to the community. So tell us a little bit more about your podcast.
So the reason why I started the podcast, one was to create the platform for survivors, right? Two, to talk to advocates, because advocates are game changers. And I want people in our community to know that there are people that their whole profession is to help you, to be there for you, and for them to share what they are doing so that you can know what an advocate is, how they're going to fight for you, how they go to court with you, how they encourage you. And they're just there through this whole process so you don't have to be alone. Then I wanted to spotlight nonprofit organizations because they are doing great things in our community, but we don't know, we don't hear about it. Having a commercial done, getting on the radio is difficult, being on TV is difficult. And so how can we share with our listeners what is going on, what resources are out there? And so I just want to lift everybody up, give them an opportunity to say, look, this is what I am doing, and I am here to help you. And it has been working. And I am truly honored to be able to spotlight nonprofits who are putting in the work, but they're not receiving the funding. Like, it's not easy to get a grant. It's not easy to get a donation. It's not easy to ask for money. It's very hard. So how can I put you in front of people that may possibly donate to your cause, who may possibly use your resources? And so that's the goal, to be able to do that. All right, we do it every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's on the Hush No More Facebook page. We do it on our Hush No More YouTube page. And then I put it on Anchor. So we're on all the different podcast platforms. So Spotify, we even on Pandora. I got an email that we're on Pandora. So I was like, yes.
Yes.
And
that's huge.
Podcasts are shown all around the world. So now we're in different countries. And I was like, what? Somebody outside of the United States is listening? So it's a great opportunity for people to know what is happening and to be able to pour into the lives of others through media.
So I know, Dr. Vanessa, that you hear a lot. You deal with a lot of heavy topics. So I want to find out, what do you do to make sure that you are okay? Because it's really important for us to take care of ourselves as well. So how do Dr. Vanessa take care of Dr. Vanessa?
I used to cry. That's what I used to do.
Whatever it takes to cleanse, honey, and get it out.
But it wasn't cleansing. It is really hard when you hear what somebody else is going through. And especially if it's just one person, it's a lot. Yeah. So to hear it all the time. So now this is what I do. And I am so thankful that I'm at a place where I can let things go. So I pray for that person, right? I ask God to take control. I believe that God hears my prayers. And so whatever I ask of God shall happen, it shall be, and that God shall take care of them. And then I ask God to allow it to be their battle. That is God's battle for them, not mine. I can't fight that fight. It's out of my control. Releasing them to God and being able to say it's okay. Because I used to hear people say, oh, give it to God. I was like, what does that really mean? Like, nobody know what that means. So for me, I pray to God and ask God to take control, to fight the battles for them. And that way I know that they'll be okay and that I am here if they need me, but I can only do what's in my control. And then I'm done. I pray. I am real big on cleansing. So I sage, clean my space. I take spiritual baths where I have roses and Epsom salt and lavender and different oils in my bath. And I just relax. I watch a little bit of TV if I just need to just separate myself, because I don't watch TV. So I might watch something like a documentary that's like, I probably even shouldn't even be watching it because it's just that nonsense stuff, like I might watch a cartoon to just separate myself from the moment. Right. And then I journal. I write a lot of poetry about how I'm feeling in that moment, because when I'm in that moment, I can release it. And I just realized that I want to be happy. And if I'm not happy, if I allow people trauma to affect me, I can't be helpful to somebody else. So those are the things that I do. And I have an altar in my house where I pray. I don't have to wait till I go to church. I pray right in my house. And that's where I do it at. And I try to meditate. I'm not really good at meditating. My mind races too much. So I try to meditate. I'm working on how to even breathe. So that's what breathing is my basic meditation. So That's what
But
I do.
breathing is important too.
It is. I didn't realize I didn't know how to breathe.
Yeah, breathing is so important, and it's a great now, I'm no meditation expert. I am like you. My mind is running a million miles per hour, but sometimes it's okay to just release it. That's so important. And it's amazing how much stress, like if you really take the time and do that for a good 30 seconds to maybe a minute, two max, it's amazing how much lighter you can feel.
My goal is to get up to 5 minutes of just breathing, stopping and breathing. And so I am probably up to a minute and a half. My goal is 5.
I don't think I'm even there yet. I might can get a good 30 seconds. Just sit still long enough, do a good 30 seconds, and that's about it.
But they say 5 minutes of just sitting still and breathing and relaxing really does help. I haven't gotten to 5 minutes, but I'm about an hour and a half. I can do it now.
I love it. And I love that you actually have a process. You have a plan to make sure that you are good. So I'm proud of you for that, because there are some things that's really hard for some of us to really just make sure that we're good. We have so much on us, the burden of the world, the burden of our family, and the burden of trauma, till we forget to make sure that we're good. So I'm super excited to hear that you actually have a whole process laid out, but that's amazing.
It's one more thing that I do, and that's on Mondays, I don't work. So on the weekends, I do a lot of events. I train the military on the weekend. So I am very busy on the weekend. So on Mondays, I don't schedule meetings. If you get scheduled on my calendar on a Monday, it's because I just have to see you. Or if you're a survivor, you get on my calendar. But just for me to schedule a regular meeting, no. So Mondays is my day to do nothing if I so choose.
There you go. There you go. Yep. Wonderful. Well, Dr. Vanessa, how can they get in contact with you? This has been so good, and I have thoroughly enjoyed having you. So if they are wanting to reach you, whether or not it's somebody's dealing with trauma or somebody who wants to help out in your organization, because I know y'all can probably use some extra hands, resources. So how can they reach you?
So you could contact me on our website at www.hushnomore.org. You could call us at 1-888-285-2161. You could find us on all the social media platforms as Hush No More on Facebook, Instagram. You can actually just reach out. You could instant message us on Messenger. A lot of people message us because they're not ready to talk in person. You can come by our office. We actually have an office in Columbia. The address is on our website. And reach out to us. We're here just to help you. If you are a nonprofit and want to be a guest on our show, you can go to our website and apply to be a guest on our podcast, and just allow us to support you any way that we can and to be able to pour in you. And we're here to listen and provide resources. So that's what we do.
I love it. I love it. You have been such a pleasure. We are like sisters from another mister. We didn't even realize that we had so much in common.
Yeah. And we both got cheeks. We both got cheeks too. We got a beautiful smile.
Thank you. You too, Queen. I just love you to life, and you are welcome here at Keever's Place at any time. And I know that we have something coming up. I don't know if you want to drop it here on the show, but yeah, but I just enjoy you, and you are welcome anytime in any way that we can support you in whatever you have going on. Please reach out to us and let us know.
We will. Thank you so much. And you can always find events at our website. Support us.
And that's right. And let's run down your contact information one more time. So your website again is www.hushnomore.org. And basically you can find out everything that Dr. Vanessa has going on, where she is going to be, her book. If you want to contribute to her cause, I would definitely encourage you to definitely do that. It's a wonderful cause. It's a much needed platform, and we want to be able to support her in everything that she has going on. This woman does a lot for our community, so we need to make sure that we assist her and pour into her as much as we can. So that's the website, hushnomore.org. Reach out to her on Facebook, Hush No More Movement. and on Instagram at Hush No More. So, and can they reach you on your personal profile?
They can. So
Okay.
I love people. So I don't have, or they can even go to Dr. Vanessa Dunn Guyton and follow me there. So
there you go. Well, there you have it, people. You have no excuses. You can't say you didn't know because she is everywhere. So final words. Any final words you would like to leave with our audience today? You have truly been a pleasure.
thank you. Remember that it's your story. You have a right to tell it and heal if you so choose when you're ready, and that you're not alone, and that there are always organizations in your community that you could reach out to, and you could reach out to us. And if you know somebody that is struggling, going through, refer us, and be kind and gentle and love on them and ask them, how can you help them? And don't judge them. Peace and blessings to you all.
Perfect. Perfect. I have no more to add after that. That was perfect. Well, thank you again. I thoroughly enjoyed you, and it has been a pleasure. And like I said, anything that you need, you are welcome back. And just let us know how we can support you, and we are there with you. So thank you again.
Thank you.
But there you have it, everybody. I told you this was going to be one of those shows that's going to be definitely memorable. Definitely reach out to Dr. Vanessa Guyton. If you are somebody that's going through a trauma right now and you just don't know where to turn, what type of resources that's available to you, definitely reach out to her. Again, her website is hushnomore.org. hushnomore.org. And also, if you are a nonprofit organization that is looking to be a guest on her platform, reach out to her. She can definitely help you get that leverage and visibility and exposure about your organization that you need. If you would like to be a guest on our show, you can definitely visit us at tinyurl.com/KeeversPlaceBooking. We're still booking guests through July, August, and September right now. So if you're looking to be a guest on our show, if you have a service or product-based business, if you have a story that you would like to be able to tell here, if you have resources or education that you want to be able to provide to the masses, definitely reach out to us and book your consultation with us. Again, that's tinyurl.com/KeeversPlaceBooking. If you would like to support us, you can go to anchor.fm/KeeversPlace/support. We're always looking for support so that we can continue to bring relevant and much needed topics out to the masses and make sure that we are providing exactly what you need. And we can't do that without your support. So again, if you would like to support us, you can go to anchor.fm/KeeversPlace/support. So this has been a wonderful show. Thank you so much for joining us again. Definitely tune in next Thursday night as we will be talking with Miss Kimla Burton, who is the CEO and founder of ButterCon magazine. So you definitely don't want to miss that show next week. It is going to be amazing. Miss Burton is amazing, and everything that she has going on, we want to be able to share that with you. And again, until next time, be sure to share, connect, and glow, because building network builds net worth. So thank you again for watching, and we'll see you next Thursday night. Bye. Thank you for watching Keever's Place, the KeeverMurdaugh Show and Podcast. Tune in every Thursday night, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And be sure to follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Keever's Place. To be a guest on our show, text the word guest to 803-368-3030 or visit us at tinyurl.com/KeeversPlaceBooking. And watch us on Apple TV, Roku, and Amazon Fire as we're broadcasting in more than 60 million homes worldwide.